Last year we had a story about Neo, who we rescued, and I'm going to show you a little clip of the old movie and a little clip of something new, and then Caroline and Paula are going to go outside and they're going to hang out with Neo a little bit and tell you a little bit more about him. I am not going outside because Neo is still very skittish of males, and you know, he has every right to be. Most wolves are. So here is the video. Let me try to do this. I think this is it. No. I apologize. Give me one moment here. Go back to that screen. Okay. Sorry, this was not the way things were meant to be today. As you know, we've had some technical difficulty. So I'm going to go back to sharing the screen. I'm going to play the movie. Here we go.
So we kind of stood back and we let Day. We have our boy here. You can see he's really shy and a little scared, and he stunk up the truck. And but this morning was actually pretty sad because we really saw how much this family loves him. It has the fencing where it needs to be, and even the windows have bars across them so we can bring the windows down. They can enjoy the breeze, but there's no chance of them getting out. So we had heard that Neo was very friendly and very family friendly, so we decided to transport him in the truck. Now, we can't easily carry him into the enclosure. We would have to leash him and somehow walk him in. And with a brand new animal who's afraid, you know, you have to be prepared for them to dart, to run. And we had our team of volunteers ready to receive us. We had everything kind of boarded and blocked appropriately so he would know exactly where to go and hopefully just go straight into his enclosure. The one thing we weren't prepared for was Riley's little kennel, where we would have to pass by to get into Merlin's enclosure. There's a gap there, and we didn't think about blocking that off. So you'll see that, you know, they want to just get to a little cozy space as fast as they can, and so that presented a challenge for us. But it was very quick. We managed to get him comfortably out and up and into his enclosure, let him off the leash, and into a little adobe where he curled up and stayed for the rest of the day, through the night, until the next morning.
House, so he's got to come out because he's very shy right now. That's so that when I come in there to check his water, he's going to get running out. I don't really want to scare him, but they want to put him from the inside, and they want to check his water, so.
Playing along the fence with Loki and Thor, who live in the house, and they're in the backyard. Snuggle me, he'll even sit in my lap. And this is a process because his owner told us that he had never bonded with anyone other than him and his son.
Hostage for belly rubs if I can't get up to go see anybody else because he'll pull on my sweater.
so Caroline and Paula are outside right now with Neo. The reason I'm not in there, although we're bonding with each other, he is still very shy. Wolves are generally very shy of men, or male energy, I should say, really. It takes us a lot longer. He trusts Paula and Caroline a lot more than he trusts me. But we are making progress, as you can see in the video. It's been a year now, and it's slow going. And a lot of people ask how long it takes to quote-unquote socialize. We don't really try to socialize them. We try to make them unafraid of a human world. Unfortunately, they were born into this world as pets, and it's our job to make sure that they can function in this world, and we can't release them into the wild. That is illegal, and they probably wouldn't survive. They'd end up being dumpster divers like Griggs was when he was caught. And so it's up to us to give them the life that, the best life that we can give them. And so we spend a lot of time with them. A lot of our pack can hike off leash. As you saw in the video, he was on a 30-foot leash, and he was coming to me and taking treats on the hike, which is a big, big deal. So it's a slow process, but as you can see, he's come along a long, long way. And I'm going to turn it over to Paula and Caroline now so they can talk a little bit and we can answer some of your questions.
So hi everybody, we're in the kennel with Paula, and she is getting love attacked by Strider here, who's eating her shoelaces. Behind her there is Neo, with Rogue also right behind her in the stump. So Paula, let's see, we don't have many questions yet, but how long did it take for you and Neo to get to this level where he feels this comfortable with you?
Well, I mean, we've had him just over a year. We had literally only had him for, I think, a month last year when we did Sedona Wolf Week, and it still is a work in progress. And you just have to be patient and gentle. And if I don't interact with him every single day, he kind of takes steps backwards, he reverts back, he becomes very shy. And I think these guys help him to be more brave. Sometimes I have to start by reaching over.
So you have the 3 shyest pack members living together, but somehow them being together makes them less shy. Can you talk about that a little bit?
They give each other confidence, and then especially, I mean, it's just like with other canines, when one observes the other one having a fun interaction, that helps in building trust. They see that, oh, she trusts them, so that encourages us. And it really is, it's really amazing. And they all, I think because Rogue here, little Rogue, of course she's the boss, she's very outgoing, and so the boys feel very confident because she is kind of the leader. She's kind of taken on a mama role for these boys, and so they see her doing what they want to do, and that gives them the courage to do it too.
Can you talk a little bit more about why wolves are so leery of men? Laura is asking.
Oh, Laura, that's a really intense question. I think probably a historian / biologist would probably give the best answer. I have my own theory that I can share just by doing my own research and learning and working with these guys. They're just incredibly shy beings who want nothing to do with humans. I believe they automatically recognize us as competitive predators. It's in their DNA. We started out kind of together, growing together, and then we grew apart. And they've been persecuted by us for so many years that I think on a DNA level, they know to be afraid. They know that we are something to be very wary of. And that's my take on it. I might be completely wrong, but that, I think that's probably at least a worthy hypothesis.
So I have a question. So Neo is part of this pack, but is he also a part of the larger Apex Ambassador pack?
That's the thing, you know? I mean, everybody's coming from different parts of the country, and so it's up to us to, you know, allow them to meet each other in a safe and healthy way. And you can tell right away ones that really kind of gel. It's just like when you go to a party and you meet somebody and right off the bat you kind of click. You don't. And so we give them that opportunity, and then we help to nurture that and facilitate it, and again, in a safe way. And it was funny because when we first rescued Strider, he's only been with us for a couple of months. You know, he's a lot. He's a puppy. He's only 7 months old. And we're going to tell you his story next time when we do the puppies. But these two are very young. Neo's only 3, and Rogue just turned 2. And Rogue and Neo are madly in love, to be honest. But they love the puppy, and to see that we take them up. You know, our enclosures are not as large as we would like them to be at the moment. We're on a rental property that we've been developing. But that way, you know, we get to take them up to a half-acre turnout, and they play and run, and then most of the members of our pack can hike off-leash in the mountains with us. We work very hard to make sure that they have that sense of freedom and get to exercise and have that enrichment. So we hike them, and, you know, they play together. And then one day, recently, we brought them down, and we put Strider in his kind of like new kid enclosure. So, you know, as we're trying to figure out where he's going to fit in. And these two were like, and Steve and I went, look at that. Okay, we get it. So we brought him in, and they were happy. And the 3 of these guys get along beautifully. And the boys tease each other, and Rogue is a great little navigator. She helps them keep the peace if they start to, you know, be boys with each other.
And sort of just one more question, because I think we are going to run out of time pretty soon, but just to talk about the healing power of the pack. So you have Rogue here, who's one of your shyest, Strider is behind you, who's also one of your shyest, and Neo all together in this enclosure, and they were coming up to you and loving on you. And how likely would that have been when they were first rescued? Would they have come up to you and played with you like that? Or was that something that took a while for each of them? And if so, why was it so different for Rogue versus Strider versus Neo?
It's different with every single pack member that we rescue. These guys come from all different backgrounds. And like we mentioned earlier today, you know, wolves just are very shy creatures, and some are just born more shy than others. They were all bred in captivity to be exotic pets, and not all of them had wonderful experiences with humans when they've come to us. So it's our job to be very, very gentle and patient, and to allow them to settle in, move at their own pace. It took, I think, about 2 weeks of my working with Rogue every day for hours to build trust and have her allow me to interact with her the way you are right now. You know, Neo and I are still working. He loves me and gives me kisses and wants booty scratches, and he allows me to leash him, but it all is on his own terms, and I always have to make sure it's done very slowly and gently so he knows he's safe. This little guy over here didn't trust me for days, but as a puppy, he kind of glommed onto me pretty quickly, and that was kind of nice. But he's very wary of men, and Steve is still having to work on that, and so we just take it baby steps at a time, you know. And it really is, they heal each other, and like Steve said, the only way that we feel we can give them the best life possible is if we create an environment where they feel safe around humans on their own terms, and we enter their world as much as we can instead of expecting them to enter ours. I mean, it's such a shame that they have to be in these enclosures in the first place. We do our very best to try and make this a wonderful experience as best we can.
But Apex also educates the public about the dangers of the exotic pet trade, and you guys do a really good job of doing that. Because, you know, you've been talking about this for quite a while now, and we're starting to see on social media people saying wolves aren't pets, don't buy them as pets, and I think a lot of that has to do with your guys' impact and, you know, what you have been sharing through your philosophy. So I think you guys are doing a really good job of educating people about, you know, this issue that you're working so hard to correct.
And I just want to have a comment, because there was a comment in the last time that we did this earlier today. These guys do seem, someone was saying, well, you know, you're saying they don't make good pets, but what you're showing us, they look like they're behaving like pets. But what I wanted to say to that person was, yes, but this is our job. This is a 24/7 job, and we spend a lot of time socializing with them, building that trust. We don't ask them to do anything they don't want to do. We thought Kona wanted to retire from doing presentations. He said, I don't like doing this anymore. And then one day he was like, oh, I'd like to go. And so we tested it out, and he had a wonderful time. And whenever, any of these guys step in as ambassadors, it's all on their own terms. And the only reason they allow us to walk them on a leash is because they're allowing us to, and we've built this bond, a positive interaction, so it's more like holding hands. I'm not walking her. I mean, any of these guys could literally get off the leash and leave if they wanted to, but they don't, because we trust and love each other. And so that's why these guys are very, very intelligent, and it's really important for them to know that they're always safe. So that is why they trust us in that way. And it appears like they're acting like but it's a whole different situation.
And I think the biggest confusion for people is the difference between domestication versus socialization. And you guys have socialized your pack so well that it seems like they are domesticated when in fact they're not. But that's a whole discussion for another time. And that leads us to the next question, which is,
I would say actually, try having Riggs in your house.
oh my God.
Yeah, it's not that these guys are aggressive.
There's video of him in the house. Riggs is friendly and loving. He's off leash. He's amazing. But if you bring him in your house, he's a wolf. And it's an interesting concept that people see him walking on a leash, they see him off leash, they see him hanging out with us in the hills, but you bring him in your house and he's still a wolf. So it's a very interesting conundrum living with these guys. We have another question here.
And we do verbalize that message all the time with people if there's any kind of confusion from what they're seeing. We let them know they don't make good pets, but then how many of you are willing to give up your lifestyle and live in the middle of nowhere and have no life to do what we do? And it's not easy. I wouldn't do anything else in the whole world. I wouldn't give it up, but it is definitely not easy. So, that's kind of all of it in a nutshell. But,
saying
huh?
In the comments here, Nandek, they were doing a wonderful job. They had a wolf dog for 11 years, and it was basically they're saying that it ramped up their whole life, and they began to film her story to share with others, and they understood. They appreciate what we're doing and your outreach. Thank you.
Well, and we appreciate you for hanging in there and being a good family for your wolf dog, because a lot of people just realize they can't hack it, and that's the problem. It's like having a 3-year-old toddler with really sharp teeth for its entire life, and it's like being a parent, and people don't realize that. So, but look at her, she's chasing
a lot. I have another question for you guys, which is a 2-part question. One, is this conference going to be on Zoom tomorrow? And if so, are we going to get to see the pack again?
I'm so glad you asked that, and I'm sure we're going to do a little wrap up with Betsy. But yes, it's going to be on Zoom tomorrow with a new Zoom link. So look in your email in the morning, and if it's not in your email, make sure you check your spam, because it may have gone in there. And we will do it like this so that we don't have any problems. Hopefully, today was definitely a challenge. I can't believe we actually got through it live, but we did.
You did it.
And and we're going to do it again tomorrow.
Saturday will also be, I'm sorry to interrupt you, I know you're outside, so we have a delay. Saturday will also be a Zoom link. And we really appreciate all of you hanging in there. It's been a difficult day, technically. It may have been some sabotage, we don't want to say, but now that we're on Zoom, I feel like we're safe and we'll be able to broadcast tomorrow. So thank you for sticking with us. Facebook kept closing us down for very strange reasons. There's people out there that don't like wolves, so maybe that's what's going on. We don't know. So we really appreciate you guys sticking with us, and we will be back tomorrow. And we appreciate all of you. So I think it's probably a good night. And where's the
I don't know if Betsy may not even be able to join us. Are you able to join us, Betsy?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
there you are.
Yay! Lots of gremlins today, I think.
He's great.
Do you have a few words to say, Dee, before we leave?
Just what a great round of presentations today. I mean, I was blown away by everybody, actually. It was so great to have Tom here for the first time. I'll just talk to the afternoon for the moment. Suzanne Stone, I really admire her many decades of dedicated to wolves. Lori's presentation, oh my gosh, eye-opener in so many ways. And just this whole idea that globally wolves are in such peril, you know, and it's just kind of hard to wrap your head around sometimes. And the Wolf Planning Guide, which I've actually used several times, you know, what a great undertaking that they did and produced for all of us. And of course this morning, and you know, the films were great. We are definitely going to make good on the film Valley of the Wolves today for everybody. And I'm pretty proud of our team for flipping the switch and being right where here we are right now on Zoom and able to have the show go on. So huge thank you to everyone. Sedona Media Services, our volunteers, all of you guys, the interpreters, and of course our audience. So we really appreciate this. We'll see you all tomorrow on Zoom. Please look in your email. I'm going to say it again because I know we're going to get your email saying, where's my link? So please check your inbox or your spam folder. If you do not see it, you can email us at info@sedonawolfweek.org and we will send the link. And please don't share that link. We don't want to have to deal with anything. We want to have a very positive and wonderful day tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you, Bea.
Thank you guys again. And we'll see you in the morning.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the morning.